communities. All right. So whichever one of those that you're in, but really in all the communities. All right. The mayor said that only the place in the city for the people can get tested is Truman Medical Center. Mayor Lucas also said that during our interview that the greatest impact the virus has had on the Kansas City is in the 3rd and 5th councilmatic district, and they were primary African American populations. One of the biggest problems is that many people that live in those districts, which happen to be African American, work various essential jobs, mayor said. The mayor pointed out that many African Americans work for the city jobs at the water department, public works. I used to work for public works too. I retired from there. All right. And the type of city jobs that have them out in the public. He also pointed out the various health disparities of the African American faced and worked in those districts, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and other health issues that these residents have to deal with. He also said that the population intensively has these areas is greater and is forcing people to be around each other in a far greater number than other areas. He said that when stimulus money begins to come down, he will be fighting to make the equality essential of the region. What am I going to be fighting for is equality and equality in the long term. What people don't realize is that there is a population difference for some areas north of the river versus those south of the river. Mayor Lucas' decision came after a local public health officials are argued leaders to the extended the local stay-at-home order through urged leaders to extend local stay-at-home orders through Friday, May the 15th. In a letter from the Mid-America Region Council, public health officers said that the director from across the Kansas City area recommended the extension to slow the spread of the virus. All right. And so he's given the reason why he extended that order. I know a lot of people are wanting to get back to work, and sure, I can understand. We need to get back to work, but we also need to stay safe. And we also need to make sure that this is done. And I hope that when we go back to work, preparation, they have prepared that how you're coming back in, because surely it won't be the same norm, because even at that you still have some people that might be sick. If you're sick, I just want to say this, and I can't say it enough: stay home. If you find yourself coughing, if you find yourself not feeling good, not only be fair or right, I'm going to use the word right, not only be right for yourself, but be right for others. All right, because the reason why I said I'm going to say right is because somebody's fairness now might be another person's fairness. So, but be right. Do the right thing, all right? Stay at home. And then when you start doctoring on yourself or going to the doctor and you're feeling better, then come on back to work. Everybody realizes that you need your money. Everybody realizes, but you also, we need our lives. And we need our families to be able to come back home safely and not bring back home viruses and different things while they do a productive job, okay? So we're all in this thing together. So I'm saying to you, stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. If you have to go out, make sure if you have a mask, put your mask on, okay? You're still beautiful. It takes nothing from you, all right? Put your mask on. We want you to look beautiful, but we want you to be alive and healthy. And we also want to stop this pandemonium as much as we can so we can get back to our normal, if not the same, but a normal lifestyle where we can get out and where we can. Remember your social distancing. I went into the bank one day. They didn't have no cover up on the bank. And I asked the lady, I said, you don't have a mask or y'all don't have a glass plate? But I came back the next time. They had glass plates. They had stickers on the floor telling you how close to get together. They had a guard at the door. Come on, somebody. I'm talking at the table. I'm trying to tell you how quick things change now. They had a guard at the door. Deacon, they had a guard at the door. They had red things telling you how to step like you did when you was in the kindergarten. Like, this is the dot here. You get there when that person move up. All right. And I'm telling you, I know all my life, I've never seen nothing like this. So it must be something we have to pay attention to. All right. Also, we are hearing about people losing their life and their family members. Also, during this time, the funeral situations have changed. So much is changing. So let's be obedient. Let's be loving. I'm going to say it again. Let's be loving and let's obey and let's get healthy. All right. All right, I'm at the table. Mama's at the table and she's cooking and she's smoking and she's bringing a delicious meal. Mama's at KUAW 98.5 on the FM sign, Kansas City Global Community Radio Station. That's right. I'm at knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. That's right. We're giving out knowledge, understanding, and wisdom at 98.5 on the FM side, Kansas City Global Community Radio Station. Well, some of you are a little bit happy. May not be a lot, but something's better. Have you ever looked at the word zero? So, some of you got your stimulus checks. Oh, yes. Come on, so hey, come on, somebody. Mama's in the house. She's cooking and she's smoking. That's right. Pass that food on around. Pastor Cat, do you hear me out there? Come on, y'all. Come on, somebody help Mama at the table. Pass them biscuits. That's right. Get some of them rolls and that jam. Oh, yes, that strawberry jam. And get some blueberries. That's right. You need some berries. They're healthy for you. That's right. Come on now and get you some juice. Well, we're at the table. Those stimulus checks came out, and I know that helped a few of you all out, and some of you all may still be waiting, but that's all right. Be patient. And when you think about the zero and then you get your money, use your money to whatever need that you have, all right? I heard something. I don't know how true it is because I don't have it to read it to you, but I did hear that there might be a possibility of maybe I think they were trying to get you another additional $2,000 or something, but you know, you don't have it till you have it, okay? You got to get the bird in the hand before you put it in the pan. All right. And so therefore you all, let's just whatever, you know, but let's still be thankful and let's still use wisdom. Well, it says on the other side of that, it says the stimulus checks to bear Trump's name is unpresidential move. And yes, that's right. On the checks, they want to put Trump's name on the checks that you're going to be getting. President Donald Trump's name will be printed on the stimulus checks that the IRS will be sending to 10 million of the Americans around the country. An unprecedented move finalized this week. The Treasury Department confirmed the decision in the statement Wednesday. It marked the first time a president's name has appeared on the IRS payments, whether refund checks or any other stimulus checks that have been mailed during past economic crises. So did you know that? Your president's name is on it, but that's okay. Go on and cash them checks. That money still spends and have a good time and do the right thing with it, okay? The treasurer said that the decision to add Trump's name will not delay insurance of the paper checks and will be mailed to the people who are not set up to receive direct deposit from the IRS. Economic impact payment checks are scheduled to go out on time exactly as planned. There is no delay whatsoever, the Treasury Department said. In fact, we expect the first checks to be in the mail early next week, which it will be well in advance. And the first check went out in 2008 and well in advance of the initial estimated. Two administrative officials of the Associated Press that Donald Trump will appear on the left side in the memo section of the checks. The spokesman of the AP of decision conditions anonymously because they were not authorized to speak publicly about the plan. The Washington Post, which first reported Trump's name would appear on the checks, said the name would be below a line that read economic impact payment. The checks will be mailed to people who do not have information on file with the IRS to allow for direct deposit. Many of them are low-income individuals. The checks will carry a signature of the officials from the Bureau of Facet Service, the Treasury Division, that prints the checks. The checks are signed by civil servants to ensure government payments are non-partial. A president is not authorized for a signature for money spent by the United States Treasury. Earlier this month, Trump denied wanting to sign the checks when he was asked about the published report. No, me? Sign? No, Trump said at the April 3rd briefing. There are 1 million of checks, and I'm going to sign them. No, it's Trump's administration initiation, but do I want to sign them? No. On Wednesday, when he was asked why he wanted his name on the checks, the president said he didn't know too much about it. I don't understand. It's not laying anything, and I am satisfied with that. He said, adding that he didn't think it was a big deal. All right, so much for that. All right. So when you get your stimulus check, he may or may not be on there, but go to the bank, Cash it and use it wisely. All right. I'm gonna take a break, a pause for the cause, and when Mama comes back, Mama still has good things for you. Mama's cooking and she's smoking. Hey, go get Johnny. Go get Joe. Tell Susie she's running late. Get to this table. Mama's cooking and she's smoking. I'll be back. I will be back. That's right. You're listening to KUAW 98.5 on the FM side, Kansas City Global Community Radio Station. Don't go nowhere. I got a lot more on the other side. Mama got a delicious spread. All right. I'll be back. All right, all right, all right. Wake up, Casey. That's right. I said get on up. Come to the table. Thank you, Pastor Canty, for helping me out with that section. I'm so grateful that you got me out there and you got my back. Thank you, Pastor. All right. Mama's cooking and she's smoking. That's right. I'm cooking and I'm smoking. And I'm talking to each and every one of you all. You all, help us out at the table. That's right. Come on, help us out at the table. You at home, and what a wonderful thing is to come to the table. That's right. Let's get some knowledge and let's get some understanding and let's get some wisdom. You're listening to KUAW 98.5 on the FM side, Kansas City Global Community Radio Station. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come on, everybody's welcome to the table. That's right, everybody. That's right, grandma, grandpa, uncle, aunt, mama, daddy. Go get Sue, go get Billy, go get Jane, go get them all. Bring them to the table. Come on to mama's table. Well, I'm going to give you a few more things of the news, and then we're going to move on. I got some other conversation because I want to keep everything light and I want to keep us having something to communicate. This is a good time to establish your own table at your home. This is a good time to pick up your books and start reading. This is a good time to enjoy one another. This is a good time to look each other in the eye and communicate. This is a good time to find out what's going on. Once again, I want to remind you we have a new phone number that you have to call. I gave it out earlier, and I'll give it out one more time just before I go off the air, because we want to make sure on every second and fourth Thursday you're able to tune in to the Bible study that Pastor Canty has. And I'm hoping I'm saying those numbers right. If not, Pastor Canty, would you please put that number down for me and help me out? Also, too, in the news, Obama endorses Biden as the best leader for the darkest time. You know, I'll never, ever tell anybody how to vote, and I never will. But I do say go vote. It is your choice. Get up, get out, shake yourself, and get to the polls and vote. You must exercise your right, all right? All right, so much for that. Another thing that was in the paper last week that I had gotten a hold of, too, and it also came from the call. It was Representative Cleaver. He introduced a legislation to combat price gouging during the national crisis. The United States Representative Emmanuel Cleaver II, he's a Democrat from Missouri. We know Mayor Cleaver, but if you're not, I'm telling you about what he's doing now, okay? The Disaster and Emergency Act, Price and Abuse Prevention Act, to combat predators from price gouging tactics, which have surged during the corona pandemic. Cleaver's bill would prohibit excessive and unjustified price increases in the sales of essential goods and service in anticipating during the immediate and following the pandemic of the natural disaster or the state of emergency. Senator Amy Klobuchar, she's a Democrat of Minnesota. She also, too, I believe, was the one that was running for president, has sponsored and introduced the same bill in the United States Senate. We often try to hammer down, and I'm going to spell her name because I don't think I did her name no justice. It's Klobuchar, okay? It says, we often try to hammer down on price gouging as it is ongoing during the catastrophe and congressional Cleaver. Whether it is a pandemic or a hurricane, national emergencies are going to happen, and schemers will try to profit from them. Therefore, we need a law that will protect consumers from predators, price gouging, who pops up during these times of turmoil, and instead of playing a whack-a-mole every time a crisis emerges. I want to thank Senator Klobuchar for her leadership on this common sense bill and working with me to protect American consumers from exploitation prices and critical supplies during the pandemic, as well as any other crisis that may arise in the future. The corona pandemic has put an incredible stress on the consumers, and we must make sure that they can afford essential goods and services. Klobuchar says the Disaster of Emergency Price Abuse Prevention Act would help ensure that people are not taken advantage of and that price gouging is prohibited during the state emergency like now. All consumers should have access to the products and services that they need to protect their families at fair and uninflated prices. The Disaster Emergency Price and Abuse Prevention Act would, number one, prohibit selling or offering for sale essential goods and services at the unconscious and accessible prices during an anticipation or immediate following a natural disaster, a pandemic, or a state of emergency. Two, establish a national price gouging hotline for consumers to report such notorious acts that are happening. Number three, consider price unconscionable if the crisis price exceeds the pre-crisis price by more than 20% except for when the prices increase. It's the product of the excess increase of the seller's cost, applying to goods and services that may be used to preserve and protect the health and safety of people from the potential harm resulting from a pandemic, a natural disaster. Also, too, on this, you can also purchase this paper. It's the KUAW paper, and you can get all this information if you need to get it. It goes to say also to applying potential civil penalties up to $10,000 per violations, as well as an injunction. I believe that the exvertible in capitalism, but a price gouging is nothing more than exploitation and extortion during a catastrophe, said Congressman Cleaver. Our country is blessed to have great manufacturers during a national emergency, and the best thing that we can do, goods while selecting few, try to make gigantic price gouging. The disaster of the Emergency Price Abuse Prevention Act will go along, and it will help us to identify the roots and select a few that would choose to make those things. So you can get that paper. Okay, I'm going to do a little switch over. We're coming out of the news now. And so now I want to go into something else at the table. And thank you all for getting the news. You all keep up with the news. It's a lot of things going on around us. It's a lot of things happening. And this is a good time. I'm still going to school at Western Theology School. Sister Bockham has a wonderful genealogy class that's that I go to every Thursday, and I'm getting so much information about my family. You too can do the same thing, and that class is at 6 o'clock. And I want to thank her, and also to his other classes that are being offered. And you also, we can't get enough education. So if you get the opportunity to go back to school and get something, never feel like you know it all. There's always a wonderful time to go back and study, all right? So I just want to mention that. Another thing, too, is going on, too. I know some of you are getting a little bored because some people just don't know how to stay at home, and you need some little activities. Go on walks. You know, it's still a beautiful day. Me and the Deacon Walker was talking about today how beautiful it was outside and our lungs and everything like that. Take you some walks and leave the house and leave yourself on and just take a stroll and just see the beauty of the land, okay? Remember your social distancing while you're out there. Make a list, like I said, about 5 people and give them a call and check on them. My neighbor bammed on my door the other day. He said, you in there, you okay? He said, I came, wasn't you there? So I didn't know if I had to call the police. So I told him, I said, yeah, but if I'm not looking for nobody, I don't answer. And so you are, but that was good, because that's good to know that when people think about you, all right, it says sometimes we can take some relaxation. That's right, I told you last time, take you a nap if you need a nap. Ain't nothing wrong. This is a good time to nap and wake up fresh, okay? Also to watch your eating while you're at home. I tell you, I had to take myself and walk past Sweets. I said, I'll be having to be deacon, and they had to roll me out of the house. They say, like, what happened to Doc? So, yeah, all those sweets, but it's a good time to be baking and cooking and the house smelling all good with all that food and everything like that. But just make sure you watch what you're eating, because when you come out, we want to be able to identify you, but we're going to love you anyway. Okay, another thing to do is if you have time to do some painting or whatever, even around your house, getting rid of things. Another thing to do is like make you some care packages. Find out somebody who might need a little something and maybe just drop it and tell them I'm on my way and sit it on their porch, okay? This is not a time where you really want to go visiting because we're doing our social distancing, but it is a time that we can be thoughtful of others, all right? Also, to watch your journal. Start your journal. Think about some advantages and disadvantages, some pros and some cons. As you're at home, find out some things about even yourself, all right? And so those are just a few of the things that we can think about. Well, I've got a little something else I want to go to. I'm switching. I'm getting ready to change your channel. That's right. Mama's at the table, and Mama's about to change the channel. That's right. I'm about to change the channel. Well, I don't know about you, but sometimes we hear this word, blessed. That's right. And a lot of times people say, bless you, or are you blessed? Well, a while back, I was given a wonderful book from T.D. Jakes by Mama Betty Hatter, and she gave me this book. And when we talk about blessings, sometimes we don't understand things come along with blessings, and sometimes there are great challenges, sometimes there's struggle. Not everybody is wanting to see you blessed. Come on, somebody, I have to tell the truth. A lot of times too, you'll be surprised how sometimes different changes come about when you are being blessed. And so the book is saying that, can you stand to be blessed? And then they said, well, why would you ask the question, can I stand to be blessed? Who couldn't stand to be blessed? Well, I want to tell you the truth. When you are blessed, not everybody all the time, and sometimes believers and non-believers, not a lot of times people are always happy about your success or about your blessings. And sometimes too, there comes some struggle with being blessed. Sometimes too, there comes some pain with being blessed. Sometimes some things come along with being blessed, and sometimes it identifies some things, and people pull off their mask, you know, the mask that you put on like the Long Ranger. They pull off their masks, and you find out that they're not as caring about your loving. And sometimes it can be very disappointing, because until you put on another person's shoes, what might look easy, you find out is not as easy to accomplish as you think. And so therefore, I'm going to bring you in, and it says, can you stand to be blessed? If you are praying, Lord, make me bigger, you are probably miserable, although prayerful. Do you know that you can be prayerful and still be miserable? How many of you all know that? You know, a lot of times we think when we pray, everything's going to walk away or go away. But sometimes in the midst of the praying, sometimes we're travailing, but sometimes there's some pain there and there's some misery there. And so therefore it says, did you know that anytime you pray to change God, who is perfect, instead of using prayer to change yourself? Oh my God, I just stumbled on something. When you're praying, it's not about changing God, but it's about doing some things, changing yourself. Okay? Stop manipulating God. Stop trying to learn something you can't say to God to make him do what you know and you are not ready to endure or receive. Instead, try praying this: Lord, make me better. That's right. Lord, make me better. Not bigger, but better. That's right. I admit better is harder to measure and not a notable to the eye, but better will overcome bigger every time. What a joy it is to be at peace with who you are and where you are in your life. Sometimes we have to just look at self, not always look at what someone else is doing. But this is a great time to work on oneself. That's right. Mama's at the table. Mama's cooking and she's serving. She's dishing you up some good food. Mama's giving you healthy, nutritious food. She's giving you knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. That's right. I want to tell you some things at the table, and this is what the table is all about. That's right. Go get them. Come on, you sit right back down, because Mama wants to make sure that you're able to understand and get knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. Well, let me go on a little bit further. It says, how restless is it not to try to beat the clock with friends and try to prove everything to the foes? You will never change their minds anyway, so change your mind. That's right. I want to be better. I want to have a better character, a better confidence, a better attitude. The desire to be bigger will not allow you to rest. That's right. That's why you can't rest, because you're trying to be bigger. It won't allow you to relax or enjoy your blessings. The desire to be better, however, will afford you a barefoot stroll down a desert beach. You can sit in the sand, throw shells into the water, and shiver the tides rushing up toward high, singing into the wind. And it also gives you harmony, but it will also give you will fill of therapy. There will probably be many things that you can't get done, so much you have to be left to do it. But it is even nicer to sigh. Sometimes we just need to take time out and sigh. Sometimes we need to take time out, even with this pandemonium. A lot of times we're talking about we bored. Sometimes you need to be in a time of preparation. That's right. Sometimes you need to sit down and make plans. This is something that's never happened before. Now we're learning how to go to the grocery store. We're learning how to store up. We're doing things of getting rid of things in our home. We're working on ourselves. This is a good time if you want to do some exercise where you normally don't have time because you're busy going here and there. It's time for you to learn and teach your children maybe how to bake it. Yeah, that's right. We got young girls and people that don't even know how to cook a hot dog, y'all. That's right. We can teach them guys too. Come on, because sometimes you all are going off to school or college. Everybody needs to know how to cook. This is a good time to bring out some of them recipes because you want to be what? Better. You want to learn how to do things. You want to be independent. Oh my God. Hallelujah. Yes, that's right. You want to learn how to do things. You want to learn how to go in and clean up. You want to learn how to iron and starch up your clothes. You want to learn how to do some things. Maybe even put together a puzzle. But this is telling you and showing you where your weak points are. Sometimes we don't do an inventory and we don't know where we can improve on. We're so busy thinking we've gotten it all together, but we want to be better. That's right. And it says that small things like this helps us, one, to get to know themselves better. It helps you to get to see some of your weak points instead of looking at someone else's. When I work on me, when I work on Dr. Canty, Mama at the table, when I work on me, I'm doing my best assignment, getting myself better. Because in order for me to be blessed, I have to be better. For me to be a blessed person and also be a blessing to others, I have to be better. I have to desire wanting to be better. Well, let me hurry on. Thank God for even the small things. How many of you all woke up this morning, even though it's a pandemonium going on, how many of you woke up and just said thank you? How many of you woke up and said, Lord, I thank you. Don't understand it all, but I still just want to thank you. I want to thank you for the small things. I want to thank you for my eyes. I want to thank you for my legs. I want to thank you for my voice. I want to thank you for my family. I want to thank you for being able to look out there and see that little red bird that just flopped down on my porch. That's right. You see that bird at the table? That's right. That little red bird that just flew on my porch. And I'm looking at the beauty of your creation. I want to thank you for the tree. I want to thank you. I don't know how much oxygen it is in the air, but I know we all got to breathe. I want to thank you for that oxygen. I want to thank you for being our keeper when we can't keep ourselves. It's so much that we just take for granted. And then even Mama at the table, I can't call it all out. You all can't call it all out. But sometimes it's just good to sit back because we blessed and we want to be a blessing. We want to be better. And it just says, can you stand to be blessed? Come on, somebody. Can you stand to be blessed? It is very true that not everybody is happy about your blessing. You'll be surprised how sometimes people sit back and forth and see your blessing when sometimes you don't understand or acknowledge your blessing and they can see it. And sometimes different spirits will come in, such as envy and jealousy. Oh, come on now. Now, if you're a child of God and you got those spirits, that's something to work on because you want to be better. You don't want to carry a spirit like that inside you. Ask God to create in me a clean, pure heart and a renewed right spirit. That's right. Get your attitude right. Get your heart right. Come on, clean up. Wash me, Lord. Wash me. Wash me. Wash me. That's right. And so, therefore, it's a struggle. These things that don't come easy. We talk about it like it's easy and like it happens every day. You have to work at this thing. You have to put something into, oh, come on. Why you at Mama's table if you don't want Mama to tell you? That's right. Mama got to do it. It's a dirty job, but somebody got to do it. Mama's at the table. She's feeding you. I'm giving you a good, healthy meal. I'm giving you things of substance, but I'm giving you things at the table that we need to talk about. I'm giving you things at the table that we need to teach and train up our children like we used to. That's right. It's so many parents with this pandemonium. Y'all don't see God working. A lot of times we were so busy we wasn't even realizing what our kids was doing. Some of us didn't even know our kids couldn't read. Huh? Yes, I said it. Some didn't know they didn't know their math. Yes, I said it. And guess what? It put us back on our job, too. We had to realize we had to brush up. So come on, somebody. Come to this table. I'm serving you good food. Can you stand to be blessed? That's right. I'm talking about the blessings. It says first success is given only at the end of the great struggle. If it was easy, anybody could do it. Success is success only because it relates to struggle. If there's no effort, if there's no struggle, you haven't had no real success. You haven't went through nothing. If everything has to go your way all the time and you always have to be the victor, don't you know that there's success and a blessing even in your failure? Because you should learn something from your failure. All failure is not bad. What I found out about failure sometimes, I learned what went wrong in that. so I can be better. I learned what went wrong in that, so I won't do it again. If you keep repeating your failures, you need to check your agenda. You need to check your antenna. You need to check yourself, Deacon. Something's going on. Hey, I should be getting something. I ain't gonna keep on repeating the same thing if I'm in my right mind. That's right, my right mind. It says to receive something without struggle lessens a personal value. Success is the reward that God gives to the diligent, who through perseverance obtains the promise. There is no way to receive what God has for your life without fighting the obstacles and challenges that block your way to conquer. In fact, people who procrastinate do not, because they are desperately trying to find a way to reach the goal without going through the struggle. Have you ever found that you're always a quitter? You can't go through nothing. You procrastinate. If it don't go your way, you fall back. You blame everything. You know what they say? A winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. You have to be willing to go through the struggle. You have to be willing to grow. I say to myself, I want to stretch me. I don't know it all. I want to sit amongst young and old so I can learn, so they can teach me something. Never think that you are at the point where you know it all. No. I want to be teachable. I want to be able to go through the struggle. I'm not going to always be pleased. I'm not going to always, matter of fact, if I'm getting pleased all the time, chances are I might not be getting some essential things I need. I need to learn how to struggle. That's why even in the pandemic, those of us that know, we know how to survive. Ain't that right, Deacon? We know how to come on through the storm. We know it ain't always going to be easy. And if you're giving that sense of everything is easy and you're just going to be blessed and this stuff, that's a wrong misunderstanding of a blessing. A blessing is when you know that you weathered the storm. Also, too, it says, I believe many people are trying to do the same thing today in their spiritual life. They're attempting to get a discount on the promises of God that doesn't work in the kingdom. Whatever it costs, and there is no swapping the price. We have to pay the price. We have to go through some things to achieve the blessing. That's right. The blessing, if it comes too easy sometimes, and I'm not saying some things won't be coming to us if we be obedient, but sometimes there is a sacrifice. Sometimes we have to give up some things in order to be blessed. And so when people say, can you stand to be blessed? Blessing also brings on some things. Sometimes it brings some enemies into your life. Everybody's not happy. Everybody's not glad to see you. And sometimes you even have to, in this world, sometimes you can't even talk about your blessings. Oh, come on, somebody. You can't talk about your blessings too much. You get on people's nerve, okay? And that's because they can't be excited. But you know, it's a poor Christian believer who can't be excited about another person's joy, about another person's blessing. We should be all happy for one another, because guess what that's saying to me? At least it said to Dr. at Mama's table. Hey, I'm next in line. If it can happen for you, it can happen for me. All right? And then I'm being patient enough to trust God enough to look. To the hills which cometh my help and my strength, and believe if he did it for you, he gonna do it for me. So I'm just gonna hold my spot in the line, Deacon. I'm gonna wait till my time come. I'm not gonna be jealous, but I'm gonna be happy for you. Plus, on top of that, if I'm the only one getting blessings all the time, nobody else is, what fun is that? I want to see you blessed. That gives me great hope. That knows it can happen for me, and that means I'm gonna rejoice with you, because when my turn comes, I want you to rejoice with me. Come on, somebody. Can you stand to be blessed? Even in the midst of the pandemonium, can you stand to be blessed? Can you come to the table and be excited? If you got an apple, I can cut that apple in half and give you a piece. But if none of us got an apple, nobody can eat, Deacon. Nobody can enjoy. Hey, nobody can get satisfied. Come on, y'all. I can stand to be blessed. And also, too, it's some seeds in that apple. I got enough sense to know I can plant them seeds and get some more apples. Hey, come on, somebody. Wow. Well, come on now. So I want to talk about this thing. I want to let you know to be blessed, we have to be God-centered. But also, too, to be blessed, we also understand in the zeal of it all, you must pay your own way. Don't expect somebody else to pay your way. Don't get upset about them when they make it. And sometimes I'm going to say this, and I know this is a hard thing to say before I go off the air, but I want to say this. You can't take everybody with you sometimes, because sometimes they like crawdads, and that's a pitiful thing, because they don't want to see you achieve it, and they're not trying to achieve it. And then they get upset with you because you go on and run the race, but that's all right. You have to stay in the race. And if they give up along the way, pray for them,